Hey everyone, and welcome back to my next video. Today I'm going to be covering the potato cannon and all of the upgrades and types of ammunition you can use inside of the newest Create Mod update, which if you don't already know, depending on the type of ammunition you use, it will give a different effect. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to want to watch this video. If you missed my update breakdown video of the newest Create Mod 0.3.2 update that's called Finely Tuned, then click on the link in the top right-hand corner to watch that, or you can click on the link in the description. I break down the entire update, and there's a bunch of timestamps if you'd like to skip over anything. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. So to start out, I've set myself into survival mode, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what a potato cannon does in general. So if I pick one of these guys up, we hold shift, we can see that it's going to shoot a suitable item from our inventory. And one thing about this is that if we shoot, such as potatoes, you're going to see two things that are happening. One is that we're using up our potato. We're getting durability used towards this potato cannon. And if you look at the item in our inventory, you're going to see there's a little bit of delay in between the shots. And that's something you're going to want to keep in mind as we kind of bring through the rest of this video. Now, we can use the new item called the copper Backtank in conjunction with this potato cannon. And what that does is if we throw this on our back, you're going to see our durability has now turned white. And that's because our durability is no longer used on this weapon. It's actually being used from our copper Backtank. And you can use the copper Backtank to be recharged in the future by just using rotational force. If you want to know how to recharge it, again, I recommend you check out the Create 0.3.2 update video that just popped up on the screen in the beginning. But that is a way to make it so that this item won't break in the future and you can have unlimited uses as you would like. Now, moving forward, I wanted to cover 3 new enchantments that are going to be available for this potato cannon, and that's Potato Recovery 1, 2, and 3. And what this does, as you can see, is as I'm shooting this potato gun right here, as the potatoes hit the ground, I can't pick them back up. If we enchant them with Potato Recovery 1, 2, or 3, we get a higher percentage of the item being saved as it hits the ground. So the potato would hit the ground, and we get a chance to actually pick up that potato once again, or whatever items that we are using. It's also worth noting that I did talk about durability going down on our potato cannon. There are other enchantments that we can enchant on its potato cannon, such as we can use, of course, a potato recovery. We can enchant flame, so it actually can light things on fire. We can put looting onto this. We can put mending, so it actually heals via XP. We can put power on it, basically like a bow and arrow. We can put punch, unbreaking, and we can put the curse of vanishing. I figured I'd cover those just in case you were curious. Now that brings me to the ammunition types, and as we traverse through these ones, I want you to keep in mind 3 different things. One is going to be the reload time, which I have placed on these signs as ticks. So 15 ticks is, if it's a larger number, it's going to take longer to go ahead and reload between each shot, versus a smaller number, of course, is faster. And then there's a knockback, which is just like knockback inside of the game. It's going to push the entity back if it gets hit by a certain ammunition type. So you can see right here, from a potato, it does 1.5 knockback versus a golden carrot only does 0.5 and so on. And the third thing that also involves these types of ammunition types is the effect that I talked about right in the beginning of this video. And depending on the item, depends on the effect. But to start out, these first 5 items do not actually give effects off, but there are differences between them. And this is just a potato, a golden carrot, an apple, beetroot, and melon. And if we go left to right, you can see that our potato has 15 ticks, so 15 reload time, 1.5 knockback, 15 ticks for a golden carrot, but only 0.5 knockback. An apple is less ticks, so it shoots faster, but the same amount of knockback. Again, beetroot shoots quicker, less knockback. And then if we look at our melon, we have 8 ticks and 0.1 knockback. So all of these are semi the same. Some shoot faster than others, but they don't have any special effects. And that brings us to the very first item, which is a baked potato. So all we did was take a potato and then bake it. And it's going to give us 15 ticks and 0.5 knockback. But it also gives us the ability to set entities on fire. So you can see if I shoot this pig, he now lights on fire, and it gives us a nice little flame effect, which is pretty useful. I could already tell that these cannons are a little hard to shoot, but are going to be super useful to take out other players in like a factions style server. And that brings us to our next item, which is going to be a less towards taking out other players, and it's going to be our carrot. So I'll just get rid of these items really quickly. And you can see that if we grab our carrot, it's going to be 12 ticks in between each shot, 0.3 knockback, and it plants carrots on the ground if it is tilled. So kind of like an automated way of planting, which is pretty neat. Gonna be pretty cool to basically set this up if I want to just quickly plant a bunch of different items. Something else to keep in mind is that you don't have to spam click these guys. You can hold it down and it will shoot as fast as possible. But this is going to be a really neat trick to actually plant some items. Our next two items are pretty cool, kind of like if we made the potato gun a shotgun. And essentially, if we grab our sweet berries, it does 10 ticks reload time, 0.1 knockback, and it splits into 3 projectiles as we shoot. So you can see if I shoot it, it's now shooting 3 different entities and fairly quick. If we move on to the next one, though, this is our chocolate glazed berries, so the chocolate version of these sweet berries. If you don't know how to make chocolate glazed berries, I have a tutorial that actually goes over that. It should have just popped up on the screen. But chocolate glazed berries are 10 ticks, 0.2 knockback, and it also splits into 3 projectiles. So you can see right here, it does about the same thing. This brings us to our next item, which is our poisonous potato. And it does 15 ticks, 0.05 knockback, so little to no knockback, but it applies the poison effect to entities. So if I go ahead and shoot our pig, or attempt to shoot him. There we go. A little harder than than I needed to, but you can see it's now applied the poison effect. It's actually poisoning our pig all the way down to half heart, which is easy to actually then take out our enemy. Our next type of ammunition is our chorus fruit, something that we would get later in the game, and this is 15 ticks, 0.05 knockback, and it teleports entities, which you probably could have already suggested by this. So if I actually shoot our pig, which is again, there we go. It'll actually teleport our entity around just as if they ate a chorus fruit, which is, again, pretty cool. I could see this used in definitely like a faction-style server because you could already tell that this would really confuse an enemy if you're able to hit them enough with a chorus fruit. Another machine that we've actually created in the past is a honeyed apple farm. And if you are interested in actually seeing that video, it should have just popped up on the screen. But honeyed apples can also be used in our potato cannon with 15 ticks, 0.1 knockback. And it applies a slowness potion effect to entities. So if I can... There we go. Gives them the slowness effect. You can see the little slowness bubbles. So if I actually moved it, he'd actually slowly move around. And then we could take him out very easily. This next type of ammunition is something that I'm a little disappointed about. And I wonder if maybe a coding reason was the reason it couldn't happen. And that is golden apples. So it's 100 ticks. So a very long reload time. 0.05 knockback. And it applies the golden apple effects, but it does not cure zombie villagers, which is something that I wish would have happened, because it'd been really cool if you could actually just shoot zombie villagers with the golden apples to cure them. This is going to be a little tricky to actually hit them, but you can see if I hit him, it's actually going to give him all of the different effects. I did test this out as well. If you did shoot this item up in the air and actually had it hit you, which looks like I missed, it will give you the effects as well, but this might be kind of like a cool type of passing effects to like a friendly or something like that, or maybe if you did want to use it on like a horse or something, you could actually give them the effects of a golden apple. This next type of item is going to be, again, really useful for like a faction style server. I don't really know about any type of mobs that this would be useful for, but it's just like our spectral arrows. And this is with a glistering melon slice. It's 8 ticks in between reload time, so very fast. 0.1 knockback, and it applies the glowing effect. So if I can hit this pig, there we go. You can actually see that we can see him completely through walls after hitting him with his potato cannon, which is a pretty cool tactic if you can actually get a shot in. And also something to point out is that it does shoot very quickly if you want to go ahead and use it for just a ton of fire with a potato cannon. These next 2 pieces of ammunition are not going to be the most useful in my opinion. However, I want to cover them because there's a Reddit post that I read that I will link on the screen right now that talked about a theory with this that might be the reason why they removed the block zappers. And this is with the melon block. It's 20 ticks, 2.0 knockback, and it places melon blocks. So if I shoot it on the ground, it's going to go ahead and place our melon block. You can also just aim at previous melon blocks and almost build a type of like bridge if you really wanted to. But on top of that, if we shoot a wall, it will actually fall almost like it's an anvil. So it falls with gravity, which is, again, pretty cool. And on top of this, this is where the Reddit post kind of comes in. And that was that maybe they removed the block zapper because we're going to have a version of like a potato cannon or a version of some type of other cannon that's going to be a way of us building blocks. Because, of course, we were able to shoot with our block zapper and change blocks. Maybe this will be the next version of our type of block zapper in the future. Will be another type of cannon. And to go along with this, we of course also have our pumpkins, which the pumpkins do the exact same thing, but with 15 ticks, 2.0 knockback. Same thing, that it will fall down. You can then place them side by side if you would like to, or place them wherever you would like. But the same exact thing, that it's going to place down blocks where you shoot them. And this brings us to our pumpkin pie. Another thing that I'm wondering is going to be more of a testing feature at the moment, and maybe they'll add some more uses in the future. It's 15 ticks, 0.05 knockback, and this sticks to entities when you shoot them. So you can see if I just shot it onto this pig, it did damage, but it actually stuck to the pig, which I can't even hit him again. There you go. You can see it actually sticks to him for half a second, and then it falls down. So not much of a use, but that sticking kind of side effect will be showed off in the future. And this is also covered with our cake feature. So this is 15 ticks, 0.1 knockback, and it sticks to entities as well, in the sense that if we go ahead and shoot our pig, which is more difficult than I thought, it will stick to him for half a second and then come on down. And then this is all translated into our blaze cake, something that would be super expensive to use as ammunition for a potato cannon, where it's 20 ticks, 0.3 knockback, and it sets entities on fire as well as its stick. So we can see if we shoot him, that was an insta-kill, so let's try that again. So it took a second, but I literally had to spawn in a mob that could actually take these level of hits because of how much damage this was doing. But you can see if we hit our iron golem, it sets him on fire, as well as it does stick to him for half a second, which is a pretty cool effect. This could be pretty detrimental to other players inside of a server. And that brings us to the end of the video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. This was a video I didn't expect to make, but then I saw that there was just so much that you could do, and a lot of people didn't really know about this. So I decided to make a video on it. So if you enjoyed it, drop a like, feel free to subscribe. I am also going to be redoing my tutorial series inside of the new 0.3.2 Create Mod series. So if you are a newer Create Mod player, or even a veteran, and you want to see the best way to start a survival world and how to dive into the Create Mod, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be remaking all of those tutorials so they're updated without flaws. But on top of that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next one.